Hello everyone, I'm the founder of EcoWar. So today I'm going to talk about renewable technologies and its impact. And let's get started. Renewable technologies powering a cleaner, healthier planet. Discover how renewable energy is revolutionizing our world, combating climate change and creating a sustainable future for generations to come. As you can see, in this picture we are looking at a wind farm which is using the wind technology in order to generate electricity and become independent from non-renewable energy resources like coal, fossil fuels, like the crude oil, the natural gases, all these things are classified as fossil fuels. So, and we are trying to become independent of these non-renewable resources because they will eventually run out of you know resource like at any time. Could be uh the next 5 years or 10 years. It just totally depends on the availabilities, and the uses depends on the humans. If we use excessively, it will run out in a short time, in a short notice. And we try to use clean energy. We try to produce clean energy because our main goal is to avoid having the problems like climate change, unpredictable weather, or uh, losing the biodiversities and so on. So our main goal is try to combat climate change, right? And creating a sustainable future for our future generations. Because if we die, uh, we have a lot of future generations, and they have to live in our planet. So we gotta think about not only short-term plans but also about long-term plans. And so let's move on. Next slide. Okay, wait a minute. The climate crisis, fossil fuels at the core. Our planet faces an urgent environmental crisis driven by largely our independent of fossil fuels. The combustions of coal, oil, and natural gases for the power stations accounted for nearly 30% of US greenhouse gas emission, pumping billions of tons of carbon dioxide into our atmosphere annually. As we know, the complete combustions of fossil fuels or carbon containing fuels, we get carbon dioxide and water. So, but in some cases, there is like incomplete combustions of fossil fuels, which can lead to, for example, carbon monoxide and water as a product. So this is even worse because carbon monoxide is colorless and poisonous. So you can't actually smell it or taste it, or you won't even notice it. It will slowly reduce the blood supply, uh, the supply for oxygen for the blood, so which will cause respiratory problem and a lot of serious health problem. Eventually, can lead to death. So this is just for like a general knowledge. But most of the times, in a plenty availability of the oxygens, what we get is carbon dioxide and water. So these are what we call man-made uh, carbon dioxide because naturally it wouldn't happen. It would just sit there under the ground like fossil fuels if we don't dig them up. Like, so the problem is that we're extracting a lot of these resources, right? And then we're using these power plants in order to generate electricity, in order to use for industrial, uh, uses like manufacturing cars, aircraft, ships, day-to-day products, chemical products. We try to industrialize the entire economy, entire country, and we try to uh, increase the productions even more because obviously the population is increasing every year, and the demand is really high for the day-to-day consumptions, day-to-day products. Consumption is like going really high. So we try to reduce these pollutants or sometimes toxic gases. What we should do, right? So let's read. Rising emissions. Global energy demand is projected to surge 56% by 2040, threatening to accelerate warming without a fundamental shift in how we generate power. Daily pollutions. Fossil fuels air pollution causes approximately 7 million premature deaths worldwide each year, according to World Health Organizations. Climate emergency. Without immediate actions to transition away from fossil fuels, we risk catastrophic environmental and humanity, humanitarian consequences. So we need to reduce the emissions of these pollutants or toxic gases, right? But these are mostly greenhouse gases because greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane actually trap heat energy that is radiated from the sun, and then it reduces the thermal energy loss to the space. So sometimes it re-emit or radiate back to our Earth, making our Earth warmer. So that's why global temperature is like projected to like raise by like 1 degree Celsius or 2 degrees Celsius. But then if you think it's a very small impact, then you will be totally wrong because even 1 degree Celsius will be catastrophic, will be chaotic, will be, you know, very, 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 very detrimental effect on our environment and also our species. So let's move on to next slide. So that's why we try to use renewable energy, a game changer for our environment. Renewable energy sources include wind, solar, hydroelectric, geothermal, and biomasses, represents our most powerful tools in the fight against climate change. Unlike fossil fuels, these technology emit little to no greenhouse gases during operations, offering clean alternatives to power our world. The growth trajectories of renewables is nothing short of remarkable. Between 2015 and 2024, renewable electricity capacity expanded by an impressive 140%, vastly outpacing fossil fuel growth of just 16%. This rapid expansion demonstrates both the technological maturities and economic viabilities of green energy solutions. Wind energy alone achieved a milestone last year, avoiding 336 million metric tons of carbon dioxide emissions in the United States alone, equivalent to removing 73 million cars from our roads. That's quite impressive. Really great job. You know, these people have been really put into effort to change our environment. So this is some illustrations of wind energy and solar energy, like solar panels here. But anyway, cleaner air and water, health and environmental benefits. The environment and health benefits of renewable energy extended far beyond carbon dioxide emission. Far beyond carbon reductions. By displacing fossil fuels combustions, clean energy technologies drastically, dramatically reduce air and water pollutions, delivering immediate improvements to public health and ecosystem uh, vitality. Renewable eliminates sulfur dioxide, which is toxic gas as well, which can cause obviously acid rain because it will react with the water vapors in the air to produce sulfuric acids, and the same as nitrogen oxides, which will also cause a lot of problems like photochemical smokes, respiratory problems, and as well as acid rain, nitric acids, and particulate matters pollutions. All majority contributors to respiratory diseases like asthma, as well as the cardiovascular conditions that affect millions. Protected water resources. Clean energy technologies achieve clean energy technology save an astonishing 228 billion gallons of water in United States during 2023 alone by replacing water-intensive fossil fuels and nuclear power plants. Solar energy installations worldwide now offsets carbon emissions equivalent to planting 3.3 billion trees globally, and forests larger than entire Amazon forest. These benefits translate directly into saved life, reduced healthcare costs, healthier ecosystems, and capable of supporting biodiversity and natural processes. Addressing environmental risks of renewables. Well, renewable offers tremendous environmental advantages. Responsible developments require acknowledging and mitigating potential ecological impacts. Constructions of renewable facilities can fragment wildlife habitats and disturb sensitive ecosystems. Wind turbines, wind turbines in particular, may pose risks to migratory birds and bat pollutions. The renewable energy industry has risen to this challenge through comprehensive environmental stewardship practices, rigorous environmental impact assessments conducted before project approval, adaptive management plans that evolve based on monitoring and research, strategic sit-ins to avoid critical habitats and mitigations, corridors, communities, and indigenous engagements, ensuring projects respect biodiversity and cultural values. Advanced radars and deterrent systems to protect alien species. These measures demonstrate that clean energy development and environmental protections can advance together. Innovations and circular economy in renewable tech. The renewable energy sector is pioneering circular economy principles, transforming how we think about products, life cycles, resource management, innovations in recycling and repurposing is ensuring that clean energy remains clean from cradle to grave. Solar panel recovery. Advanced recycling processes can recover up to 95% of solar panel material, including 90% of glass components, dramatically reducing waste and conserving virgin resources. Turbine blades reused. Decommissioned wind turbines blades are finding new life as public arts installations, playground equipment, and innovative building materials, keeping them out of landfill. And battery minerals. Recycling and reusing critical battery minerals like lithium, cobalt, nickel, reducing mining impacts and create more sustainable supply chain for energy storage. Economic and social impacts of renewable energy. The renewable energy revolution isn't just for goods for the planet, it's transforming economies and society worldwide. Clean energy has become the most cost effective options for new power generations in most regions, fundamentally reshaping global energy market. 41% solar cost reduction. Solar power is now 41% cheaper than fossil fuel alternatives in most markets worldwide. 53% offshore wind saving. Offshore wind energy costs have dropped at 53% below fossil fuel generations. 90% future clean grid. By 2050, renewables could supply 90% of global electricity demand. Job creation. The clean energy sector is creating millions of high quality jobs globally, from manufacturing and installing to maintenance and innovations. These jobs are often distributed and accessible than traditional fossil fuel employment. Energy independence. Renewable energy reduces dependence on volatile international fossil fuels markets, enhancing energy security and economic stability. Local clean energy production keeps well in communities and reduce geopolitical tensions. Property elevations. Distributed renewable systems are bringing electricity to underserved populations worldwide, enabling economic development, education, and improved quality of life in previously energy-poor regions. Path towards scaling up for the sustainable future. You can see the timelines or uh, yeah, generally the plan is that we will invest $3.5 trillion, deploy advanced storage solutions, phase out the coal power in developed nations. By the 2050 or 2050 clean energy dominance, uh, reaching 90% of renewable energy electricity worldwide, complete fossil fuel phase out, establish circuitry economy for all energy technology. And lastly, you can see transition error. Oh, sorry, this is supposed to be phase two, right? So in phase two, which is 2030 to 2040, is called transition error. Bridge gaps with lower carbon natural gas where needed. Expand green hydrogen infrastructures. Achieve 70% renewable electricity globally. Sorry, really nice. Let's look at here. Critical success factor. Annual investments of 3.5 trillions in renewables and sustainable energy infrastructure is needed through 2050. Strategic use of transition fuels like natural gas can bridge gaps while renewable scale securely. Global collaborations and bold policy reforms are critical to accelerate adoptions and ensure no communities are left behind. So renewables are our best hopes for healthy planets. Evidence is overwhelming. Renewable energy technology represent humanly best pathway to sustainable, healthy, prosperous future. All right, so we'll see that climate solution renewables offer our most powerful tool to limit global warming and avoid catastrophic climate impacts. Health clean energy save millions of lives by eliminating deadly air and water pollution from fossil fuels. Equitable future. Distributed clean energy create jobs, enhance energy access, and billions of more resilient communities globally. And ecosystem guardians. Responsible renewable development protects biodiversity, enable ecosystems restorations worldwide. Together, we can power safer, cleaner, and more equitable for generations to come. The transition to renewable energy is not without challenge, but through innovations, responsible development practices, global collaborations, we are proving that environmental protections and human progress can advance hand in hand. Renewable energy revolution is already underway. So let's take every action that we could as at the individual level. And thank you for listening.